he even bothered to put a wing on it. Now, this R34, oh, this brings back memories. So that is a Magden, I think an M1 screen. Apparently, this is an R34 GTR, and for some demented reason, they decided that they didn't think the stock MFD was cool enough, and so they put this in. And I just kind of thought, bullshit. If you get an R34 GTR, you don't need to have a screen in the center console because you've got the MFD. You only put something in there because your car didn't come with it because it's not a GTR. And I just figured they went with something custom because trying to figure out how to make a GTR MFD work with a non-GTR Skyline would be awkward or something. I don't know. But apparently it's a GTR, even though I was pretty confident that it is. Not. So this car reminds me, in one of the more recent films, there's a car that I made some posts about where I was just kind of like, huh, is that what I think it is, or is it not what it's being made out to be? Because that happens a lot with movies, obviously, where cars that are lowered versions of upper trim cars made to look like the upper trim cars. You know what I mean? And so I said that in like a video or a post or whatever, and then I somehow found the owner of the car, and I reached out to him. I'm like, hey, you know, my name's Tom. I make videos on YouTube about Fast and Furious cars, and because it's popular and it's fun to do, and I've done stuff with Craig Lieberman before, but I don't know if I've brought up Craig at the time. And I was just like, hey man, would you be up for giving me your VIN just so I can look it up in like a database just to see what it actually is? Like, obviously I'm not gonna give your VIN to people, but like, I don't know if I actually said that. Like, hey, I'm not gonna give your VIN to people. And he just fucking exploded, man. Full on roid rage. He's like, why the fuck would I give you my VIN? Like, let me read it. It's fucking crazy. Like, he just went nuclear. What the fuck would I send you a fucking VIN number for? And what the fuck does that have to do it Fast and Furious? Do I look like I give a fuck that you cover behind the scenes? Don't ever ask me some stupid ass shit like that again. And if you don't like what the fuck I just said, you can come to my shop and I can see that shit to your fucking face, you fucking pussy. What the fuck is a fucking VIN number have to do it Fast and Furious? Don't ever fucking iMessage me again. Like, I'm pretty sure he had a stroke writing all of that. And then, so I'm like, my bad. It didn't occur to me that asking for that might cross a boundary. I just wanted to see if I could confirm something with a primary source of information so there's just no doubt. That being you. You don't owe that to me. I just wanted to ask since it's behind the scenes. Apologies for the misconduct. And again, the last thing I wanted to do was disrespect you. A lot of what you do is inspiring and sets a great example to the rest of us. However, didn't really set a great example there. Really weird ass tough guy act. Like chill out. Like if someone says like, hey man, like is your E46 M3 an actual E46 M3? Like, is there any way you can prove that? And I'm like, sure. There's a lot of ways I can prove it. Like, what do you want? I don't care. Why are you so sensitive about it? Like, if you give me your VIN, can I figure out where you live or something? Is that something I can do? Like, he's acting like it's some kind of weird security breach, or it's like, how big is your dick? It was such an odd reaction. I was like, God dang! Like, I knew he might say no, that's personal information. Like, I'd rather not give that out, but not like a man-child. Like, it's amazing that having success, money, and lots of nice things does not mean you are mature and intelligent. Also, can I just say, this gauge cluster. Is that a GTR gauge cluster? Can I just say, the gauge cluster just doesn't look like a GTR gauge cluster to me. I mean, let's Isn't this a GTT gauge cluster? I'm Googling ER34 gauge cluster. Huh. R34 GTT OEM gauge cluster. Looks pretty familiar. I mean, that's a close-up shot with the Magden screen. Why would you put a GTT cluster into a GTR? What the f*** would possess you to do that? That just is the most pointless thing. Why is everyone so adamant that this car is a GTR? I just feel like it's a lie. It ultimately makes no difference because, you know, the value of the car is already going to be pretty inflated because of this movie anyways. But I just get the feeling Hero 1 is not a GTR. They zoomed right into the fucking GTT gauge cluster. Why am I so angry about this? I need to go to bed. Fucking midnight. Help. Why am I irritated by this? I literally should not care.
That's your third traffic violation in less than 3 blocks. Slow it down, O'Connor.
Sure thing, Dad.
It zoomed in on the GTT gauge again. Hold on, I'm very confused.
3 blocks. Slow it down.
I mean, this is probably one of the stunt cars. Something about the placement of the tires and the body. They look like they should be sticking out a little more. I'm not sure. This car is single turboed again. Ooh, I like the flutter. Also, Skylines are going to be expensive in the next 12 years, so you just ruined Brian's investment. Or the FBI's, technically. That $45,000 car is going to be worth $150,000 in the next 12 years. That really pisses me off.